Hello everyone. Today I will deal with another important topic for your GATE examination, that is hybridoma technology. So what is hybridoma technology? It is a process of development of monoclonal antibodies. So these are the antibodies that are generated toward an specific epitope. Okay. What are the epitopes? Epitopes are the regions that are present on antigen, and the antibodies recognize these regions on the present on the antigen and will generate response against this antigen. Okay, so these antibodies are derived from single clone of B cells, that is monoclonal antibodies are derived from single clone of B cell with particular affinity for single epitopes. That's why they are known as monoclonal antibodies, because they have affinity toward a single epitopes, and these single clone of B cells are taken from spleen. Okay, remember this, these B cells are taken from the spleens. Spleen is a site for B cell maturation and it is a part of secondary lymphoid system. So here I have discussed this topic, so you can go through this for better understanding. I will explain this topic through this diagram. So here's the whole procedure. So what happened first? We inject the antigen that for which we require the desired monoclonal antibodies. We inject the antigen against which we require the monoclonal antibodies. So antigen is injected into the animal. So and B cells were taken out from that animal. So those B cells have some properties, that is they are HGPRT positive, Ig positive, but mortal in nature because they have limited lifespan. They are TK positive also. Okay, so first this B cell is taken from the animal. Okay, they have some properties, and myeloma cell is taken. Myeloma cells have some properties, that is they are HGPRT negative, Ig negative, but they are immortal. That's why we are taking this myeloma cells, because of its immortal nature. So this B cell and myeloma cells are fused in polyethylene glycol, that is PEG. So these B cells and myeloma cells are fused in polyethylene glycol. So three condition could generate, that is unfused B cells, some fused cells, and unfused myeloma cells. So this unfused B cell will die because they have limited lifespan. Okay, and but this unfused myeloma cell will survive, and some fused cells will survive. So this fused cell, that is when only B cell, two B cell will fuse, this will also not survive. Okay, because they have limited lifespan. Other than this hybrid cell, that is B cell and myeloma cell, you can distinguish through the color, this blue colored regions somewhere. So these are the B cells and myeloma cells. This fused B cell myeloma cell, that is hybrid, this will survive. Okay, and the other fused myeloma cell can survive, but for the rejection for the deletion of this my fused myeloma cells, had selection is done. In this had selection, this unfused myeloma cells and fused myeloma cells will not survive. I will tell this reason later on. Okay, so these unfused myeloma cells and fused myeloma cells, they both will not survive, but this hybrid, that is fused B cell and myeloma cells will survive, because they will transfer this gene HGPRT from the B cell to the myeloma cells. That's why they can survive. Okay, so yeah, so these hybridoma cells, they will generate antibodies against this particular antigen. Okay, which were injected into the animal. So these antibodies are further uh, screened through the process of ELISA and RIA. Okay, and for the recloning of this antibodies hybridomas, uh, two process can be taken. One is in vitro and other is in vivo. So this in vitro process, for this in vitro process, these antibodies are cultured in the external medium, and monoclonal antibodies can be more monoclonal antibodies can be generated, but they are generated in vitro method. What is the limitations are they are generated in low concentrations, okay, 1 to 20 mg per ml. And in vivo, these B cells are again injected into an animal, and ascites fluid are taken, and monoclonal antibodies can be taken out. And the benefit is, uh, this will generate a high concentration of monoclonal antibodies. So this is the whole process. I will discuss why this myeloma cell will not survive in HAT medium. So as I said, these myeloma cells are HGPRT negative and TK negative during their cell cycle, that is G1S, G2M. So in S phase, the myeloma cells can utilize this de novo pathway only. They cannot utilize salvage pathway because it requires HGPRT and TK. They are both negative, so they cannot utilize this salvage pathway. Okay, and let's talk about this de novo pathway in HAT medium. With what happened in HAT medium, yeah, here this in HAT medium, uh, the full form of HAT is hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine. Okay, the full form of this HAT is hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine. So this aminopterin is added into the medium. And what is the role of this aminopterin? It inhibits this de novo pathway also. That's why myeloma cells do not survive, either fused or unfused. Both myeloma cells will not survive. Okay, so what is the mechanism of this aminopterin? It inhibits this enzyme dihydrofolate reductase. And what is the role of this dihydrofolate reductase? It converts dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate, and this tetrahydrofolate further involved in purine synthesis. Okay, what is the purine? Ag. So this aminopterin is inhibiting this de novo pathway also. So myeloma cells will not survive in the media, in this HAT media. And for the deletion of these myeloma cells, this HAT selection is done. Only hybrid cells will survive, that is the fused B cell and myeloma cells. And these fused B cells and myeloma cells have characteristic to generate antibodies that will be uh, that have affinity toward that antigen that was injected into the animal. Okay, so yeah, so here I have explained what exactly happened in HAT selection. So as I said, this yeah, these are the myeloma cells, they are TK negative. The fused cells, they are both TK positive and TK negative, both are there. And the mortal splenic B cells, they are TK positive. So this myeloma cells will die because they are unable to synthesize DNA, as I discussed earlier, because of the presence of aminopterin. It inhibit the pathway by inhibiting dihydrofolate reductase. Okay, so this myeloma cell will not survive. These fused B cell and myeloma cell will survive because of presence of B cells. B cells having this HGPRT and TK both. So they will they are unable they are able to utilize salvage pathway as well. Okay, that's why they can survive in the media. And this B cell, the mortal B cell, they will also die because they are mortal in nature, so after a limited lifespan they will die. So here I have explained the mechanism. One another inhibitor is methotrexate. It has a exact mechanism as aminopterin. That is, it is inhibiting this dihydrofolate reductase, so that this dihydrofolate reductase cannot convert it into tetrahydrofolate reductase, and this is, as you can see in this picture, they are involved in purine synthesis, and this purine synthesis involved in DNA synthesis. Okay, so this was the whole mechanism procedure, how this hybridoma technology works. So one more thing I will discuss. So as we all know, this is the structure of antibody. Okay, so once this question was asked in, I don't remember, in 2010 or 11. So the question was, what is the humanized antibody? Okay, so that's why I'm discussing all these four. So one is murine antibodies, that is, these are antibodies are taken from the mouse. Okay, murinic antibodies are the antibodies that is taken from the mouse. This is also known as MOMOBAB. Okay, the monoclonal antibodies that is taken from the mouse, that is known as murinic. Another is chimeric. In chimeric, what happened, this is the variable region. I have discussed this variable region and constant region in my previous videos. You can check those. So yeah, in chimeric, this variable region is from mouse. Okay, and the remaining constant region is from human. This is also known as ZMAB. Okay, remember these things. What happened in humanized monoclonal antibodies? In humanized monoclonal antibodies, only the CDRs are from human, and the CDRs are from the mouse, and the leftover constant region is from the human. Okay, the leftover part is from the human. Only the CDRs are from mouse. Okay, so this is what humanized is known as ZUMAB, and this is the antibodies that is taken from human. It is known as UMAB. Okay, so remember all these things. So this question was asked, what is the humanized monoclonal antibodies? So these are the antibodies that have CDRs from the mouse. I am giving this external data so that you can correlate these keywords if you found somewhere in the exam to the given data, to the given topics. That is from where this particular thing is asked from. Okay, so this fast display, this is important. This fast display has a role in this monoclonal antibody production. So remember this thing. Although this fast display, I will discuss in technique if I cover this technique topic. Okay, so yeah, here as you can see, this in mouse hybridoma, this chimerization is happen. The variable part from the mouse and the remaining is from human. This is humanized monoclonal antibodies. This CDR is grafted. Okay, so some more data I have given. So first humanized monoclonal antibodies was approved by US FDA in 1997 was anti-IL-2 receptor, that is daclizumab. Okay, remember this. This question could ask somewhere in GATE exam or some in other exams such as DBT also. So what is the role of this anti-IL-2 receptor for the prevention of transplant rejection? Okay, so these are the information based data, so remember these things. Another is fast display technology is used for antibody maturation for by site directed mutagenesis of CDRs and affinity selection. Okay, so based on this technique, this fast display technology, the first fully human therapeutic antibody is, that is adalimumab and anti-tumor necrosis factor alpha. Okay, uh, is human antibodies was approved in 2002 for the rheumatoid arthritis. So I have taken this data from one research paper, so you can read this and keep this in mind that GATE can ask this type of question in their question paper. Okay, so remember all these points. So coming to some question, let's solve some question. So first question is, antibodies producing hybridoma cells are generated by the fusion of T cells with myeloma cells? No. B cells with a myeloma cell? Yes. Other is macrophage with myeloma cells? No. T cells and B cells fusion? No. We have read this, it is a fusion of B cell with myeloma cells. Okay. B cell, because why not T cells? Because they don't have property of this antibody production. Okay, that's why not T cells. Okay, B cells, because they have property of antibody production. So this question was from 2019. So another question is, production of monoclonal antibodies by hybridoma technology requires splenocytes, osteocytes, hepatocytes and thymocytes. So what will be your answer? Splenocytes. I said in the beginning of this chapter, the lesson, that the B cells are taken from the spleens. It is a site for B cell maturation. Osteocytes, they are site for the bone cell generation. Not hepatocytes, site for liver cell, and not from thymocytes. For these are the site for T cell. Okay, only splenocytes can be used for this hybridoma technology. This question was from 2015. So coming to next question, it is a humanized antibody is one in which first option is heavy chain and light chain from human. No, they are they are UMAB. Okay, so heavy chain from human and light. Heavy chain is from human and light chain is from mouse. No, they are known as chimeric. Okay, and light chain is from human and heavy chain is from mouse. No, we have not read about this. CDRs from mouse and the rest from the human. Yes, we have read this. The humanized antibodies have the CDRs from the mouse and the rest from the human. Okay, so this question was asked in 2012. So as you can see, this question has been asked in alteration of 1 to 2 years, 2012, 15 and then 19. Coming to our last question, what is hybridoma technology? Hybridoma technology is used to produce, what will be your answer? Both monoclonal and polyclonal antibodies? No. Polyclonal antibodies? No. B cell? No. Only monoclonal antibodies. So as you can see, if your concept is clear, you can easily answer the questions. Okay, this question was asked in 2010. So for the next time, they can ask from this topic also. This question, I have read this question somewhere, I don't remember from where I read. So yeah, that's all for today. If you find any difficulty, you can comment in comment section. So see you in the next lesson. Thank you.